So yeah, good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to Satuccino. It's great to be back. I hope everyone had a lovely break, although I'm sure that probably feels like a bit of a distant memory now. So for those of you who don't know me, my name is Jake Hannigan and I'm the Business Engagement Lead at the Cash Bowl. It's my role to be the first point of contact for businesses who are interested in our support. So if you are interested, please do come speak to me after the event. Today we have a fantastic lineup of speakers covering a mix of different topics. Making it brilliant Satuccino to kick off the year. So to kick things off, I'm delighted to introduce our keynote speaker, who's Nick Tarquini. Nick is the mission director from Eutelsat, and he's going to be given an overview of OneWeb. So Nick, over to you.
Thank you. Hi guys. So yeah, first of all, OneWeb Eutelsat. We're a telecoms business, essentially. We've got a low Earth orbit constellation. We have just been recently taken over by Eutelsat, hence the sort of name convention. So we now are called Eutelsat Group. But part of that is that we've still got the OneWeb low Earth orbit constellation, and then Eutelsat have got geostationary satellites. So the idea is combined, we'll be able to offer a lot of resiliency, so into lots of different markets and use combinations of the LEO network and the GEO network. So what I do, I'm a mission director. So we've got our primary satellite operations center in London. We've also got one in America, in Tysons in Virginia. But essentially what we do is from that center, we fly 654 satellites. And obviously, constellations are sort of a new thing, right? So traditional satellite operations, we do it a little bit differently. There's no way we can monitor every single satellite. We take over 52,000 satellite contacts per week. So we're constantly streaming lots of data down. And essentially the way we fly the fleet is by a lot of automation. So instead of actually going and looking at the data for an individual satellite, what we do is we set limits up. So say temperature goes out limit, then we get flagged, and that's when we step in. So very quick overview. To actually deliver at the internet, what we've got is you've got your use terminals, which you see here. So we offer a range of different use terminals depending on the use case. So we've got flat panels, parabolic, collapsible ones for more sort of military or on the go uses. You will have that as the customer. And then that obviously connects to the satellite, and that goes down to what's called a satellite network portal. So we've got satellite network portals all over the globe. So wherever you are with your use terminal, you'll be able to see a satellite, and that satellite will be able to see a network portal. They're in a polar orbit. So we fly over the North and South Pole every orbit, which means that we can use TT&C sites as far by an Inuvik. So these are big sites with lots of antennas, and that's how we communicate with the satellite when the payload is not. For us, we call the payload the money maker. So it's the components which are actually providing the data to the customers. And then once we've got to 1,200 kilometers altitude, which is where our fleet operates, we then turn on the payload and we can communicate with the satellite via all the SMBs as well. So you've probably heard of Starlink. OneWeb's not as well known. Essentially, we are very similar. Starlink was set up to be B2C, business to consumer. So you can actually go on SpaceX's website and buy a used terminal, whereas we operate slightly differently. So we've gone from B2B. So we will sell our used terminals to someone like BT, EE, and then they will implement that into their internet system. So you may already be using our constellation. A lot of these companies or distribution partners will integrate into like 5G masts. So they've got a bit of redundancy. So it's not as, essentially you don't really know. You might not notice that you're using OneWeb constellation, but you may already be. In terms of how we operate, I'm a mission director, so I sit in the SOC and sort of my job is situational awareness. So lots of different parties, subsystem engineers, flight dynamics, and that also goes through me. So in terms of the flight dynamics, obviously it's a new industry. There's a lot of media focus on them at the moment about debris. So we want to be really sustainable. We work with SpaceX a lot to try and share our knowledge and what we've learned on operating so many satellites, to try and write the rule book a little bit, because we're obviously really keen about safe space. There aren't that many regulatory laws about it, so we're trying to get people to be aware of what we do, and try and make it fair play for everyone, right? So there's lots of other companies trying to do the same thing. We want to work with those companies to share our knowledge and essentially keep safe space. So by doing that, we've got a lot of automation. We do make about 10 evasive actions per day, which is where we move a satellite out the way of some debris. And like I say, the process is heavily automated. Otherwise, it would not be possible. Could you just close that little box? So having said that, we do partner with lots of different companies. Obviously, we've got satellites in orbit collecting a huge amount of data. So we do share a lot of this data. We also are happy to work with customers if they want to test specific technology on one of our satellites. So we do have a satellite at the moment, which I think has got about 6 or 7 external customers' payloads on board. And we are collecting that data for them, providing it, sending it back down. So we are open to sort of testing any new hardware that people want to test. Along with that, obviously, you might have heard of the European Space Agency Sunrise program, which is exploring lots of different things in space. And one of the things we're looking at is if we can quantify micrometeoroid impacts. We don't think we've had one yet, touch wood, but we're there and we're open to work with these different people. And because we want to be sustainable, you might have heard of Astroscale as well, which are actually trying to design satellites for in-orbit servicing. So we're also working closely with them to see if they can potentially work with us to, if we ever have an issue, to go and grab our satellites. We do deorbit them all. So the plan is once they've reached the end of their life, we want to bring them back down. But obviously it doesn't always go smoothly as that. So it's definitely a market for these sort of companies that want to help out and potentially test one of our satellites to go and grab it and bring it back down. I think that's probably as much as I can fit into a 5-minute presentation. I could talk a lot longer, but yeah, that is the overview. It's a nice little diagram of one of our satellites. It's obviously not white in real life, it's covered in information and stuff. But yeah, what you see here is the gateway antennas, which is actually connecting to the user terminals. And then on this side, which you can't see, is the customer beams, which is sort of like a Venetian blind beam. So with that system, that is how, in a nutshell, we're able to provide global internet coverage.
Great, thank you. Next up, Bill Knight from Helios.
Amazing, thank you very much. To be honest, I don't think I'm going to use this. I always get told I'm very loud anyway, so I'm going to put that down. We don't need it. Hi everyone, I'm Izzy Knight from Helios. I'm here with my lovely colleague Alex Harvey in the front row. So you can see a load of names on the board. What do? We are a part of the JOSCA system. JOSCA is about supply chain risk compliance. Supply chain risk compliance is the absolute crux of what we do. The heart of what we do is community and collaboration. So you can see a whole host of names on here. The whole idea is if you're working with loads of, organizations in this sector, if you can complete a compliance process once, because we know how painful it can be, long, arduous, loads of forms, what are we doing? Do it once, upload it into a central space where everybody can access it. It's a no-brainer. Why wouldn't you do it? So if you're looking to reduce your barrier to entry, the defense and aerospace sector, if you're looking to gain visibility with not just defense primes, but the divisions within those prime organizations, intelligence, space, more, if you're looking to provide your compliance data in a simpler way, and if you're looking to understand how your company is performing in the realm of environmental, social value, and governance, then come and have a chat with me and Alex. We would love to talk to you. Scan this little QR code, discover a bit more, come and have a chat. We'd love to welcome you to the community. Thank you very much.
Next up, we have Tatiana, who's a health coach qualified.
I'm loud as well, can I?
Yeah, sure, yes.
Yeah. Yeah, hello everyone. I'm Tatiana. I'm from Ukraine, just to prevent you thinking of where I spell accent from. What if I told you that transformation in your health, it's not about your willpower. It's about having a right system, and everything become much easier. And you'll say, oh yeah, I know, eat better, move more, sleep well. We all know about that. But then life happens. Work happens, family, busy. I know everything about what busy professional lives look like. And then you just can't do this. Research shows that 80% of chronic disease can be prevented by lifestyle changes. But in the same time, 80% of people can't change their habits. Because changing is not about knowing, it's about doing. And that's a place where I came. With my 4-step system, first is awareness. Know your numbers, know where you are, what you need to do. Then second is action. Any ideas why this guy is not exercising? That's because your workout starts from evening when you went in the right time to sleep. If you don't have enough sleep, if you don't have time, you're not exercising. So right actions, go to right habits, and habits bring results. So to have a right result, you need to have a right systems that works for you and with you. If you're ready to take control of your health and have sustainable results, scan QR code, come to speak with me. I will be happy to support you on your journey with all my knowledge and support. And don't miss out health check on Harwell campus that will quite soon going on. So watch the news.
Thank you. Next up we have Evan Phillips, who's a system engineer manager from Infinity Systems. Mike,
Yeah, I'll just mic, my voice might go. Thanks very much, everyone. Evan Phillips from Infinity Systems Engineering. We're a systems engineering, safety engineering and mission assurance consultancy based down in Bristol. All sounds very boring and everyone says delay, you're going to make things complicated. What I would say is, so first of all, systems engineering life cycle is infinitely tailorable, so we can tailor it to suit your timelines to make sure you're doing things right and following a process. Safety engineering and mission assurance, following the process, looking at your hazards, looking at your reliability concerns, to get you through to a design the first time right and correct. Now, why do we do that? Missions are getting longer. Satellites are staying in space for longer. If you look to refuel a satellite, you're not doing that for a 2-year mission, you're doing it for longer. So let's get it right, let's get it lasting up there as long as possible. Let's add to your sustainability. If you're doing in-orbit servicing, you don't want to clatter into that multi-billion-pound mission and wipe them out. You don't want to create more debris. If it's not you, then who is going to be the one that creates that massive debris cloud? So let's use systems engineering, safety engineering, environmental legislation. Let's work with yourselves. Let's work from the very start, from the concept analysis, all the way through to in-orbit service and decommissioning to get things right first time together, and provide that assurance maybe to your launch partner, to the Civil Aviation Authority or others, to ensure you have that story all the way through, that golden thread, all the way through your design process to make sure you're doing things properly. Okay, thank you very much.
Next up, we have Chris Hayes, Technical Director from Caltech.
Am I quiet or not? I'm not really sure. Hi, I'm Chris. I work for a company called Caltech. We're an electronics design and production company. We've been working in space for probably the best part of 25 years, starting with Beppe Colombo and the remote interface units. We designed and produced all the EMs for that. We develop products across many market sectors from concept and then support it right through to its full life and through life. We've got 23,000 square foot production facilities in Luton, where we're AS 9100 approved for flight. And we have a development team that go across multidisciplines from simulation right through hardware development, PCB design, and all the way then through NPI and into production. So if you've got anything where you're looking at hardware, where you're looking for experience in the space sector, give us a shout and be more than happy to chat to you. Thanks very much.
So we have Catherine Banks, who's Director and Owner from Tailored Finance and Accounting.
Hi, I'm Catherine, and I've got a very different business to a lot of you here, which is slightly less exciting, but something that can serve you all, which is a finance and accounting business. I've got my services on the screen, which it's all based around designing what's right for you and the companies that you have, and it's all services for companies rather than individuals. And then the other thing I just add is that I specialize in smaller companies that are growing, and also that I spent the last 18 months of my corporate, well, less corporate government career in the UK Space Agency. Thank you.
Thank you. So yeah, next up we have Alison Stewart, who's joining us online, who's from the UK Magnetic Society. That's Alexandra, that's the wrong one. Should be Alistair. I don't know if you're online. No, they're not. We'll just go on to the next one. Jesse, how are you online? No, there might be an issue. Zoom link. Alexandra's online. I can see Alexandra's waiting, so we might have to go back. There you go. Oh, hello. Sorry, yeah, we can hear you.
Yep. Hi. I'm online today, so I will try to my best. If you will not understand me, sorry. I'm Alexandra. I'm representing Satuccino. We are the Polish company that designed and developed, built, and successfully launched the first Polish commercial satellite into space. And what I want to say, our expertise lies in delivering advanced solutions tailored to the needs of industries, such as agriculture, infrastructure, climate monitoring, national security. Also, we specialize in nanosatellites technology, offering solutions for Earth observation, dedicated missions, and ground stations. As you see on slide, now our services also include and provide dedicated missions, hosted payload missions, sovereign space capabilities, also data analytics, and last but not least, ground stations if you need. What I may say, one of our projects is providing demonstration capabilities for SkySyn project, led by Zeitle under support of ESA. And besides Europe, we collaborate with partners around the globe, including regions such as the Gulf, Australia, USA, Africa, Middle East. We are providing customized solutions to meet diverse needs. And we delivered, as I said, satellite solutions, such as supporting the Sultan of Oman also, in strengthening its sovereign space capabilities with custom nanosatellite systems and also ground segments. For now, our vision extends to the creation of the REC, real-time Earth observation constellation. This is our in-house manufactured nanosatellites enabling Earth observation at a very big scale. I may add that we are working with government agencies, international research institutions, private sectors, leaders, startups also, who are looking to launch innovative products, but looking also for expertise in technical or operational resources. And we provide tools, expertise to make these projects a reality. And if you are seeking new opportunities and meaningful cooperation, I'm happy to connect with you. And also, as we are talking in Statref, the sky is not the limit. Thank you.
Perfect. Well, we're gonna go back to Alistair now, just to see if we can get him online.
Good afternoon. Can you hear me now?
Okay, yeah, Lee now.
Excellent. Thank you. So yes, I'm Alistair Stewart from the UK Magnetic Society. Our society is based in the UK, but it's worldwide, bringing together anybody who's working on magnetic technologies, from research through to applications. Give you some ideas in your sector, in the space sector. These applications can be things like ion thrusters. That's all right, on the Hubble Space Telescope there. Sorry, the ion thrusters at the top that NASA's using in the Gateway Station. The attitude control, torque control bars on the Hubble Space Telescope. A key one is sensing, so sensing magnetic fields, that sort of thing. It's protecting from magnetic fields. And things like the Ingenuity helicopter on Mars, being one of the first aircraft to fly on a different planet, used electric propulsion to do that. We have an event, Magnetics in Space, next week at Harwell, and we'd love to see you there. If you can't make it next week, then please do reach out to us with any questions that you think our members might be able to help with. And you can register at the link at the bottom. Thanks very much.
Thank you, Alistair. Next up, hopefully we got Jesse online as well. Okay, so no issues there. We'll skip on. Next up, we have Carl Savage, who's in the room for his Easter egg quantum bit program manager. It's about Easter Day.
Hi, I'm on the lookout for innovative startups. And if you meet the criteria of being under 5 years old, you're UK registered, majority founder and employee owned, and have a clear space connection, then get in touch. I might just give you £51,000 if you're really lucky. I am particularly interested this year, because it's the International Year of Quantum, in companies that have a quantum connection as well. And that's quantum most broadly defined, let's put it that way. It doesn't have to be a quantum computer in space. It can be something like photonics. But yeah, come and see me. If you were here last year, you'll remember that I said the biggest advantage of working with ESBIC is that we have the best freebies, which is last year's edition. But I can tell you that we have upgraded. So if you want a luggage tag, come and see me afterwards.
Next up, we've got Charlie Warner, who's the Vice President of Transcends.
Hi, I'm Charlie. I'm the Vice President of CRANSEDS, the Space Society at Cranfield University. We have a bunch of projects and stuff I want to talk to you about today, and maybe how you could help us. So we don't just do rockets. We're quite a diverse society. We've won the UK SEDS Society of the Year for 2-3 years in a row now. We also have cool things such as our satellite design competition. We're building CubeSats. We have in-orbit servicing and manufacturing. And on top of all of this, we do outreach. So we go to local schools. We even went to the Village Fete last year. That was very funny. We had woolen hats, flapjacks, and then a hybrid rocket engine. But sorry. Yeah. So we do a lot of stuff, and we have a lot of cool connections, but we need external help. We want to have mentorship from people who can hopefully push us in the right direction of how the industry is currently going. It's all well and good that we can read out books and read what's going on online, but having the help of someone who could potentially, who works in the industry currently, would be very handy. So yeah, we've got all our cool badges and stuff like that. If you want to help the next generation of space professionals, us, and hopefully you will hire some of us one day, scan there. That's our email. Thank you very much.
And next up, we have Rob Powell, who is the business development manager from Calypso.
I believe I'm last as well.
Yeah.
There you go. I'm
There you go.
between you and the break. The good news is I'm actually relatively local. I live in Wantage. Trying to get the proposition over in less than a minute is quite challenging, especially when you're talking about satellite communications. So I was asked to do one slide. What I've got here is a graphic that just talks about the challenges of communication. When you're at home and if you're a gamer, you're really, really concerned about latency and bandwidth and all the rest of it. Same goes for applications that are delivered via satellite. You can't go up and make a change after all. So what we do, in essence, is simulate and mimic satellite communications. And that will be from LEO constellations. We've done projects with ESA, with University of Surrey. We're also doing projects with MSBA, I believe is the name, for a lunar rover. We work with NASA and most of the Five Eyes defense agencies as well. We do things, what we're essentially doing is creating network realism, and that might be from tactical comms for defense, or it might be for Earth observation data. And the way that we do it is that we work with a number of companies to create models and try and emulate the characteristics of RF communications. So I think that's probably all I need for now. Thank you very much, everyone.
Next up, I'm just going to go a few things just to kind of keep in your diary. So the first thing is the Iceland conference. So this is going to be taking place on the 4th and 6th of June at the ICC Belfast. It's UK's leading event on in-orbit servicing, assembly and manufacturing. You can expect key talks on regulation, security and technology. Plus there'll be roundtables, exhibitors and network events that you can go to. The discounted early bird tickets are on sale now, and they're available until the 21st of February. So if you are interested, it's worth getting them now. Next up, just a shout out to Space from Expo. So this is going to be taking place on the 11th and 12th of March at the ExCeL in London. It's one of the UK's leading events for the space industry. There'll be over 200 different exhibitors, 120 different speakers and over 5,000 attendees. And headlining the event will be scientist Professor Brian Cox. There'll be product demonstrations, keynote speakers, multiple conference theatres, roundtables, workshops, and also one-to-one networking opportunities. So again, if that's of interest to you, there's a QR code on the screen now if you want to get tickets. Next shout out, CoSpace and Go. So this is something that we've recently introduced. We've got a payment machine now, making it even easier to use our CoSpace. So you can just turn up and pay on the day. There's no booking required. The daily rate is £16.20. And actually it's free Wi-Fi, there's free coffee, giving you a comfortable and convenient place to work on Hull campus. So if you're interested, just come speak to me. I'll be happy to show you around the room. As always, if you haven't signed up to the Space Enterprise community, please do. It's free to sign up to, and on there you'll find a list of funding opportunities and also collaborative opportunities, as well as all the events which are happening in the UK space sector. So it's worth signing up to if you haven't already. I guess speaking of events, our next event will be taking place on Tuesday, March 4th, not Wednesday like it usually is. Again, we had a double booking on a room, so just keep that one in your diary. Don't come in on Wednesday like it usually is on. But yeah, if you want tickets, there's the QR code on the screen now. That does bring us to end. And actually, one final thing, actually, this is my final Satuccino I'll be hosting. So I'm moving roles. So I'm staying at the cash bowl, but I'm moving from business engagement lead into a business development role for our defence and security camp. So if any of you defence security people in here, maybe come speak to me. And I'll, get to contact see Joel Morgan.
So I'm just going to take this opportunity. I'm Joel Freeman. I've had the pleasure of being Jake's manager for the last year. And I want to take this chance to thank and embarrass him on screen and everything. Just to say he's been amazing over the last 12 months, absolutely thrown himself into every challenge that we've given him, taken it in his stride, whether that is running Satuccinos, whether that is getting a new payment system through CoSpace so people can just tap and go, the process for businesses to engage with us, the way that you are pointed to different parts of the organization, internal and external. He's got 2 weeks left, so please use that to give him the hardest questions you can. And then when he enters his new role within the business development team, please use him as a contact within the defence space as well. He's going to be a great person to know, and I've no doubt he's going to go on to do really amazing things. So yeah, just a massive thank you, Jake.
Yeah, thank you. Thanks, Phil. That's everything then. Thank you all very much for coming. Thanks for all our speakers. One more thing before I do forget. As on my other side of the page. So as a kid, open enrollment. So it's getting into space. So there's a webinar workshop happening from this.
There at the end of March.
That's the end of March. So if you.
Come talk to me if you're interested.
Oh, okay. Okay. Final one done. Thank you, everyone. Thank you all very much for coming on today. And yeah, hope to see you at the next one. Thank you.